So you'll notice that when I try and run the myTrace with a null, it doesn't like that target. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out, or rather comment it out, so that it will work with event.target now. So when I click on the trace text, you'll see when I click on that button, you'll see that it's actually outputting the type of object that event is coming from. Now if I want to output the name of that object, I can. So event.target.name. So let's see what happens if I now take off the comment on the myTrace and see if it does the name. You'll see it is rendering an error. So we do have to be aware of what type of function that we're creating and how it's going to be instantiated to make sure that we are creating it correctly. Now, if we take off the different type of event that we have here, we may be able to use this and not have it be a problem. It's still going to be a problem if we're trying to trace the output of the event.target. So that seems to work pretty well. Trace event, and it says null. So there are some things you just need to test when you're working with functions and creating them. We don't typically create a function that we are going to run with a frame event as well as an event listener, mouse event listener. So we won't typically come into this particular situation. Anyway, let's go ahead and create another function. You'll see that I have another function here to output a string. To create this function, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and copy basically what I already have. Control C, go down a couple lines, and let's go ahead and give this another one. This is the output text. Now with this one, we are going to be changing the text that's in a label here. So I'm going to have to take out the trace hello world, or actually I can leave in the hello world part, and I'm going to change the information here at the beginning. Now what we're going to be doing is putting text inside this output string, and you'll see it says output underscore txt. So what I'm going to do is find that target. Let's make sure that it's there. Output underscore txt. So it says this dot output underscore txt dot text equals hello world. So we'll be changing that text to hello world. Now we're going to instantiate that with the correct button. So let's go find the name of the button. That's going to be change text 1 underscore btn. So I'm going to just copy the name, go back to it. So it will be this. It says change text 1 underscore btn dot add event listener mouse event dot click, and then we will have to give this a different name. So we'll call it my output. Now I am using my output, and the only reason I'm using my is so that you realize that it is a function name that we're creating. So it might be better for us to put something that tells us what we're going to be using, or a function that we understand what it does. So in this case, I might change it to function output text, because that's actually what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and change that over here. So let's see if that works. Now I can click on that and change the text. Go ahead and create another function for the next one beside it as well. And then we're going to go on with the next tutorial.